now that things have kind of shifted for me, because I feel like I have to redo the whole process because
No,
it
you just
was
have to
so
keep going through it.
Because mainly my ultimate first goal, of course, is to take care of myself and my family,
Right.
and then broaden my reach.
How about Greta? How about this? Why don't we start from the top, off the cuff, with your main first goal? How does that sound?
Sure.
Just going through the questions from the top, based on that immediate first goal. Does that make sense? And you can do it off the cuff. You know what's important to you and your family.
Yeah.
Right? Does that sound right?
Yeah, I might get a little bit personal.
That's all right.
No, that's what you want to. We want you to do.
That's why we're here.
We want you to dig deep, and re-look at things, because it's the process. It's all about the process.
Okay. Well, I guess what I can go back to is my number one goal with this would be to just get a hold of our financial situation. I have oh, sorry. It's just tough.
That's not good.
Initially, a little over a year ago, I was introduced to a network marketing company, and sort of under the impression that I could get myself sort of on a better track financially with this program, and it ended up, being a wonderful product that has really saved one of my kids' lives. But so I can't really put a price on that. I'm happy for what I got out of it. But it didn't do anything for me financially, and I really put a lot of heart and soul into it for a good year. And I just recently myself, as you, Lisa, finally just said, I can't be putting any more time and energy into this. Like 10%, earning 10% is just not going to do it for me. Like I don't want to wait 10 years. I don't want to wait until, one of my kids is out of the home. Like, I want to create the life for my family now, like today, yesterday. I've been struggling financially. I've been on what we call income assistance here, which would be like, I guess, welfare, and for way too long. And started when I was, I don't know, maybe a couple years after I became a single parent, and just, God, they make it hard to get off. Really, it's just, I can't earn anything extra. I have literally saved I have all my checks in an envelope because I just can't, I can't cash them because I just don't want them, because they'll just take every single cent. I can't make anything extra on top of what they give me. I can't make not 1 cent. They just take it off my check, and it's just, well, I worked hard for those pennies. And I want to be able to use them to put food on my table. I don't want to eat at the food bank anymore. And like, I don't want.
Keep it coming.
I don't want my kids to. I want them to be successful, and I need to be that for them, to see it and to be able to do it as well. I need to set them up for success. I can't continue to do this anymore.
Right. Right.
You're doing awesome, kiddo.
Yeah.
This is good. This is what we wanted you to. This is what this is all about. This is getting to this part.
Yeah.
This is the important part. You're doing awesome, and that is the best, most admirable goal there is to be a good example for your children and create that space for them.
Yep.
And you know what? Assistance is designed to keep people stuck, and you're changing that for your family. So just keep at it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're going to be here to watch you. Yeah.
And help you.
Yeah, and be by your side.
So number 2, I bet that's an easy question to answer now, right?
How will I know once I've achieved this goal?
Yeah, how will you know?
I can tell them to fuck off.
There you go.
That's what we want to hear. Good girl.
And just go in that office and just say, see you later.
There you go.
Take your money and put it where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
You'll get there.
Yeah, we're going to get you there. And then you're going to be able to provide for your family. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just, it's a hard place to be in because I understand when people, you know, work under the table and do things like that. And people can look at the people who are doing that and look down and frown upon them, and it's like you don't know what it's like until you're in that place, and you need to feed your family, and you know, and people start doing things that they could never even imagine themselves doing because they've just they got to do it to survive, and it creates, you know, it can create so many negative things in the world, and yeah, I'm always open about it, and I just every time I go there and you know, or people ask me, or I'm going to get food stamps or whatever, and it's just, well, what's your situation now? And I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of going in there with my head down and going, yeah, well, it's still the same.
Where number 3? We're on number 3.
When and where do I want to achieve this goal? I know I haven't been doing what I need to be doing every day, and like this, being a part of this group with you guys and having you guys as my accountability partners is so huge. Like,
right.
I can't believe that, you know, when I came in, I thought the Empower Network, sorry, I'm going a little bit off, but when I came in, I thought the Empower Network was the best thing on the planet. And then, you know, and then I met my team and Team Synergy, and I'm so, like, elated with my sponsor. Like, I just love her to pieces, Sarah Dax, and she lives in Switzerland, and I just think that's the coolest thing in the world, you know, where I can connect with all these people and connect with them on such a high level so quickly.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then there came Team Take Massive Action, and then Layla breaks out with this woman's team. And I'll go back to that later, because that's another thing for me that's just so huge.
It is like a whirlwind, though.
And it just keeps getting better. I'm like, how can it get any better than this?
Wait till go to the event. Oh my God, they're like off the hook.
Yeah.
That's just that, especially the difference between every event, right? And how exponentially each event has just been better and better and better. And Austin, like, was so much fun, and now the women's thing, I mean, I don't even like know what's gonna happen. I feel like it's gonna be this like tribal drum pagan circle thing. I know, something like crazy. It's just like I can feel the fever brewing.
We're gonna start walking on hot coals or something crazy.
It's gonna get cosmic, I'm telling you.
So back on the question, when and where do you want to achieve your goal?
$10,000 a month.
Okay.
That's my goal now, right?
All right. So when and where?
I just don't know how to sort of.
Could you do it? Do you think you could do it in a year?
Oh, I would definitely want it to happen before then.
You want to do before a year? Okay.
Oh
Just
yeah,
throwing it out there.
I want it to be within like 6 months.
Okay.
Pick a date. Let's pick a date right now.
Okay, wait.
Where are we? March. Okay, October.
I have a baby on the way too. I want to get things pumping before this baby gets.
When's the baby due?
I don't even know when I got pregnant, so I think around September, October.
Okay.
So it's March, April, May.
You already
like right when the baby comes, it'll be like, happy birthday!
There you go.
$10,000. I don't know, September 8th.
All right. September 8th. I'm writing it down right now.
2013. September 8th. That's my son Ethan's 5th birthday.
Okay. All right. And where will you be?
I'll be with my family.
Will you still be living in the same place? Will you have moved when you get to that point?
I don't really care where I'm living. Fortunately enough, there's problems with our house, but we have like an acre of land and have a pretty good sized home, and I wouldn't care if I was here. It wouldn't really matter where I am. It's just kind of where I want to be within myself, and if I happen to be living somewhere else, I happen to be living somewhere else, but I also don't like moving very much. So I've moved so many times since I've been on the island, like 8 or 9 times, so I wouldn't mind just kind of being where I am and creating a home out of where we are right now.
Yeah, tell us now.
I definitely need support from my partner, support from you guys and my team and my sponsor and everybody, the community in the Empower Network, of course, and that I have. I was attempting to listen to the bonus Inner Circle with Chris Record. Mm-hmm. The first one. I don't know if you guys have listened to it.
I haven't heard it yet.
I don't think I've heard it yet either. Yeah.
What it's mostly focused on are income producing activities, and how Team Take Massive Action is so well known for all the free advertising and things that they
resources. Yeah.
Totally.
So I'm kind of excited to finish listening to that and find out where those are and how to use them. We were just at number 4, achievable. What resources do I need to make this happen?
Right.
And now we're on.
What do you need? What do you need to do to make it happen?
I need to take massive action. I need to just start doing. When I listen to the training, I need to take my notes, which I always do, but then I need to take those notes and put them into action immediately.
Yes.
And if it takes up 2 hours to do that, and I only have another or if I don't have an hour that day, then I need to start the next hour the next day with those activities. I don't know. I need to figure out my income producing activities every day. I need to do that for at least an hour every single day.
Right.
Because my time is limited, but I also need to learn. I need to know what to do.
I know. So. That's definitely the trick, is learning and doing all at the same time.
Yeah.
One good tool that I find
that
helpful is to listen to training right before you go to bed. Because then your brain has time to work on it while you're sleeping.
That's a good idea.
And it just kind of plants the seeds in your head, and you know, nothing too exciting because then it'll keep you up at night. But
so then doing the listening and the learning right before bed, then waking up and then doing your income producing activities, and then ending off with your doing it that way.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, that may or may not work for you, but I think that it does kind of plant things in your head, so you can kind of mull them over, you know, in your subconscious, and then when you get up in the morning, you've got some thoughts, you know, and you can do some stuff with that.
I love doing that. Actually, since I've been with the Empower Network and as of lately, like, I have these crazy dreams of like holding like wads of cash in my hands and actually physically seeing it and counting it, and
wow,
it's amazing.
That's
so
really cool.
awesome.
Okay, use that. That's really cool. That's a really empowering like imagery.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like an imagery hound. Like, I'm always looking for imagery, and like that's really good.
She's on question number 4, number 3.
Yeah. Can I achieve this alone? Or do I need other people to make it happen? That's the one that we're on, right?
That's the one we're on.
So yeah, I definitely, like I said, I need support in my own personal family and my unit here, and from you guys, my accountability partners, and Team Synergy, the women's team. I mean, it's all there. It's completely accessible at any time I need to reach out. I'll just keep it in me.
Yeah.
So,
Disadvantages.
Disadvantages.
This one's kind of a hard one because you have to look at the negative side of reaching that big goal of yours, and there's always something negative, but we don't always think about it, but it is in the back of our mind, and it's something that actually holds us back. So from
that's what
reaching
she was
the
touching
goal.
on. She was touching on it before with the whole family and the time management thing, and I think that's a huge one. You know, I don't know if there's maybe more pieces to that, because that does seem to have a lot of emotion for her, right? And that would hold you back.
I mean, that's my basic disadvantage. There's more challenges that I have to, personal challenges that I have, barriers that I have, and that's different than disadvantages to me, I think. But maybe it is a disadvantage. I don't know.
If it stops you, it's a disadvantage.
Yeah. Well,
can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Do you think this is the same thing as who am I trying to please by not succeeding? Does this have a similar ring?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Really?
That's where I was
Because I wrote a lot on that, and I got to some core things in my own things and stuff, and I was just looking at my notes, and I was like, you know, what is it like? Think about that, Greta. Like, who would you listen to the question? Who are you trying to please by not succeeding? In your mind, who would it, would be okay if I didn't succeed because
my family.
Why?
Well, my sister, for instance, is
So not your kids. You're saying your sister.
Yeah.
You're equal. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's the one I fear most telling her that I'm pregnant, because there has just been this jealousy throughout our whole lives, and she has a lot of jealousy issues towards me, and I don't like to hurt her, even though, but whatever success I have in whatever way, in whatever form in my life, hurts her. I know my brother would be over the moon because he hates to see me struggle.
So an advantage, he would be on the advantage side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then my parents are struggling. And they put a lot of guilt on me for, they have a hard time giving without like putting an attachment to it. You know, it's hard to explain. It's
no, but this is getting deep. This is good because there's the barrier of like, help me here, Jamie.
What I'm hearing is you don't think your parents would be supportive of your success. Like they're skeptical, maybe.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely skeptical. And but that's something that, in my opinion, it's back to that same what other people think of me is none of my business philosophy that I have. Yeah. Growing up, when my parents showed any skepticism, I said, screw you, I'm doing it anyway. And that was the way I lived my life. And yeah, so it's kind of like an, yeah, in your face, you know. I love, and my mom's gone, but I still have my dad, and my dad is one of my best friends. And we talk about that from time to time. He goes, man, I was scared to death to tell you you couldn't do something because you would just go and rub my nose in it, you know. And I don't think now, if you reached that level of success that you want for you and your family, I bet I would be willing to bet that your parents would be on your list of people that you want to help, and they would be benefiting, and that would take away all of that negativity and stuff that you've got attached to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see how much that made Dave Wood feel so happy when he could get everybody to the wedding and make it an awesome event. And if, you know, of course, like that's a great thing to be able to do. But and every little bit, I mean, from that extravagance.
And you don't have to be as rich as Dave Wood to do those kinds of things. I'm sorry, you don't.
That's what I mean. Like that's just the so extreme version.
Yeah. You don't have to be that rich. You can do those great things for your family without going crazy and over the top. And them seeing, and you know, part of, I think with my dad anyway, and I'm sure it's the same with your parents, part of that negativity that you get from them is because they're trying to protect you from failure. They don't want to see you fall down again. And so they're trying to protect you by holding you down. Does that make sense?
Yes, completely.
Okay. And you're never going to do that to your kids, right?
No.
It's a different generation. I'm telling you, it's a different generation, a different mentality.
There's just seems to be a greater awareness, a consciousness that it's like conscious parenting.
Right.
I don't know. Now So I don't know. All I can do. My mom always says it's every generation's job to do a better job than the previous, and so. And
that's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
Yeah.
Can only build on what you already know. I mean, our parents did the best they could with what they had, and you guys are doing the same for your kids, and your kids will do the same for their kids, and so on. Did you talk about your advantages?
No.
We talked about your disadvantages.
Right.
Let's talk about my advantages.
Let's talk about your advantages, and then we're going to get you in the end.
Well, you know, going back to my parents, I do know that deep down, I believe that they want me to be successful, and I should say when I get to that place and that level of achievement, there's going to be no denying it. They're going to see it. Kind of like the story about Lawrence Tam and his parents, you know, and his dad.
I was there.
Finally, he was there, and he finally, yeah, you were there.
It was awesome.
Saw it and experienced it, and I think you got to be stupid not to realize, you know, you know, like my kid is happy and they're hugely successful and they're taking care of their family, and isn't this initially what I always wanted? Really, deep down, for my kids to just be successful and happy? Yes. And to not feel like you have to take care of them or bring them home again or whatever it is. And so advantages, just to, I think I need to change my focus, because I've been so focused on getting off of assistance that I need to focus on making $10,000 a month.
Exactly.
Out of my head.
Right.
That's it.
Right. So what are you going to achieve, baby? What's your values?
Like, aren't we on what does this mean for me?
Yeah.
What does it mean for you? Number one is, which of your values will be achieved by creating this outcome?
Well, family values, I guess. I don't really. This is a
try thinking of that $10,000 a month income and what it will create for you, like financial independence.
Yes, financial.
You know, those kinds of things. Peace of mind, joy. You know, things that are important to you.
Yeah, contentment. That's a big one for me, and it always has been.
Contentment.
Peace within myself.
Yeah.
And contentment, and
so you're looking for that because you're not feeling that right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been really working on honing in on living in the moment. And like yesterday, I went out after we had our call, and I felt so good about what we did and what you did, and actually realizing what we have here in this group.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, God, this is awesome. I can now go out and just go and enjoy my time with my kids completely and not worry about anything. And just because I have what I need, I have the vehicle, and it's there, it's waiting for me when I get home, and I can just go and do this now. And yeah, that was awesome. We went to the wave pool for like 6 hours or 5 hours or something, and
it's great.
And had a blast.
And wore them all out.
Yeah.
it most important part.
It was good. It was good, and feeling alive. A lot of my life, I didn't feel like living, and before I became a mom, there was so many years where every day I contemplated suicide, every day, and I was consumed completely by it. I lost my dad to suicide when I was 12.
Wow.
And in some ways that gave me, I feel it gave me strength as much as it pulled me down, because it created this lack of value within myself, this lack of worthiness, because, well, why else would he do that? I mean, obviously, at that, being a 12-year-old girl, I wasn't worth it. Or I did something wrong, and I struggled with an eating disorder for 10 years. And in and out of the hospital all the time, and I attempted suicide and ended up getting really sick and ended up in the hospital and never told anybody. And
what do you mean your family didn't know about it?
No. There was a period of time in my life where I was when my father did that, it was like a bomb went off and we all shattered, and we were all alone in our different grieving processes. My life was just very chaotic growing up and very abusive in any and every which way possible. And I was the youngest and just sort of floated around and went through everything and tried to pick up all the pieces and take care of everybody, and just lived in this sort of silence, because I mean, I couldn't share it with anybody at school. And school was just a complete write-off for me. I dropped out in grade 9. I completed grade 8 in summer school, and that was it for me for school. And started traveling, and yeah, I mean, there's lots of bits and pieces, but it was when I became pregnant with my daughter that there was just a complete shift within myself. And I was able to very quickly do a lot of healing. And I was in a terrible relationship with her father at the time, but I just focused on gaining health, gaining strength, inner peace. I just wished, and I thought of these things, love and contentment, and like within myself constantly, every single day, every moment of every day. And I completely embraced this being inside myself and completely connected with this growing child. And that was it for me. And that is why, like, my children mean just as children do any parent, but I have this connection to them, to what that means to me, that is so powerful. Like, she having my daughter saved my life. I would not be here. I would not be here today.
That's exactly what I was getting from that whole process you just went through. Is she saved you, and you guys are each other's saving grace. And you know, she wouldn't be here if it wasn't for, you know, you digging deep and looking for peace and looking for contentment. And you know, I mean,
and that life is what you value the most, Greta.
Absolutely. That's awesome, Greta. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I know that was hard.
Yeah, that was good. Thank you. That was good. That was really good.
I was looking at the questions here.
That's okay.
What will this outcome help you avoid feeling?
Unworthy, unsuccessful, feeling unintelligent.
Yeah.
That's a big one for me. I always
Feeling like you're not smart
always
enough.
used to tell myself I was stupid. Always. I always really truly believed that I had some severe, like, intelligence issues, lack of intelligence, and I wrote, so I'm just going to look at what else I wrote.
It's that's getting pretty deep.
My feeling like the choices I have made in my life have, like, I'm always making the bad choices. Like, I'm always making the wrong choices. And that will help me avoid feeling that way.
Got it.
Big time.
That's a good one.
Because it's not only me, it's not only myself that has felt that way and felt guilt for, you know, having a child with an alcoholic or having, you know, like just all these different scenarios, like having, you know, so many kids with so many different dads. Yay, this is my second kid with one dad, so that's good. That's resolved.
Oh, you're so cute.
Hey, man, you got to find the successes wherever you can.
But my family, you know, my family has also, like, fed that feeling of I'm making bad choices.
Oh.
The wrong choices. Because, and even now where, you know, I'm just like, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm walking around my life and living my life unconscious or something and just sort of sleepwalking through. But because I always know that no matter what, especially now being a parent, I don't give myself the choice to give up. It's just not an option in my world, in my life. It's just not. If I don't feel like getting out of bed, well, too bad. I have to get out of bed.
Right.
You know, I only have one choice, and that is to succeed and to create the life that my family and my children deserve. That's just it.
Right. That's right.
So sorry, I went off track a little bit there.
No, you didn't. You were fine.
No, that was perfect. So the last question.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And one of the big things for me as well is it will help me to not feel like I'm not living my life to my full potential.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
that's an important one. Yeah.
Because everybody has a tremendous amount of potential. We all do.
Right.
And there's so few of us who utilize it. And I basically think it just comes down to confidence and and how you view yourself. So.
Right.
What's the next one?
Last question.
I'm shaking. I can barely.
You're purging. You're just purging. When you've achieved your outcome, what will that mean for you?
So much. Oh my God. It will mean that
you just said it, really.
It will just mean everything to it will help me feel worthy. It will help me feel valued by myself, for my, like,
yeah.
Greta is going to value herself. Greta is going to respect herself. Respect is huge for me. Huge. I don't think I've given myself much respect, and I don't receive it because of that. And because I'll be in that place of respect and value and self-worth, my children will begin their own process of that even more so.
Right.
I've seen a shift within my daughter, and to see that grow even more so, like I just have my one girl, and the rest of the gang are all boys, and
Oh, wow.
that's fine. That's fine. But I
Girls are different.
it's and I just, for me, it's really important for my daughter to see me taking care of myself,
Yes.
me valuing myself, respecting myself, loving myself, giving to myself.
Yep.
Because she needs to do that for her, and she needs to show people that she deserves that from them.
That's right.
It just
Awesome.
to be a little bit easier or different for women than it is for men in that way.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I think so.
I think so too.
We have a tendency to undervalue ourselves because we're so busy taking care of everybody else.
Right.
And when my mother was always running around taking care of everybody, she wasn't taking care of herself. And it's just, so many things come from that. There's resentment, and there's frustration, and there's sadness, and there's,
Rage.
just well-being issues, rage. Exactly. And, my mom was Sicilian, so coming from Italian family also, it's like, yikes. But,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
jokes all the time.
Yeah. So, no, you're right on the money with that whole, women, you need to teach your daughters to respect themselves and expect to be respected.
Big time.
I think that's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
So here's the question, phrased again. Now that you recognize that you need to be respecting yourself and treating yourself with, just differently than you ever have, and that you want to be a good model for your daughter, what does that, when you've achieved your outcome, what will that mean for you? When you've achieved that and you've set that example, what's that going to mean for you?
I will just, I'll feel like I fulfilled a major purpose. I'll feel like I've given I feel it's important to be a guide for my children when they're young, and this is the only opportunity I have to be their guide, because eventually they just won't listen to me anymore. And they'll just be guiding themselves. And I just want to build that foundation for them, and I want them to I'll just feel good.
There you go.
I'll feel happy. I'll feel proud. I'll feel like I have accomplished one of the most important jobs in the world.
Sorry.
I'll feel like I made a difference. I'll feel like I made an impact on the rest of my kids' lives. I'll feel like I set them up for success.
Right.
Which was initially what you said you wanted to do, right?
Right.
There you go.
So see, it's not the
Awesome.
whole world.
It wasn't that big, broad picture. It was just this little universe that you live in right there.
Yeah.
That's the most important one for you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Really good.
You did really good.
Oh,
Really good.